Hello, I'm Simon Hart. I teach history at the grammar school here at Parkstone, and I'd like to tell you about an amazing discovery we've made underneath the fields here at Parkstone. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to take you to that building over there. When the school was built in 1958, plans were made and kept in the finance office, which is where we're going now. Now we've come here to the finance office. We're going to meet Mr. Clegg, who's our financial officer, and he made a remarkable discovery a few months ago. Mr. Clegg, I understand you made an amazing discovery a few months ago.
Some plans out the back.
Let's go through.
Come on through. Come on through, ladies. Go there. That's fine. As you can see, we've got quite a few plans of the school here. And if we take these plans out there and have a look at these.
And this is the old farm that was on this site before the school was built.
Nag's Head Farm that was actually on the junction of the road out there. You see, this is where the roundabout was supposed to go, which is roughly where the crossroads and the traffic lights are now, and the farm was sat right in the middle of it.
Now, before I became a teacher, I was an archaeologist, so I know that when buildings are destroyed, very often they're just destroyed to ground level. Very few people bother to take out the foundations of buildings. That means that if that's the case, if the earth was just put on top of the old farm buildings, those buildings could be right under our feet here. But there are more things indicated on these plans than just old farm buildings. When we looked closer, we discovered something far more interesting.
You can see that this is Waterloo Road and Cabot Lane. This is the building we're in at the moment, and there's a couple of buildings indicated on the corner there. And have a look at these other plans, which were made when they were going to put a roundabout here rather than traffic lights. So this is the assembly hall here. And it says for those buildings there, air raid shelter. So that sort of looks like those buildings there correspond with those buildings there. So that one could well be an air raid shelter.
If we compare old plans of this area with modern satellite photographs, we can find that the farm buildings are roughly in this area, and the air raid shelter should be somewhere around about here. Now this is a forgotten part of the field. It's been left to grow over with bushes, and if the air raid shelter is somewhere down here, one thing's for certain, it's going to be very difficult to get to. Sophie Nash, one of the members of the School History Society, decided to explore the school archive held in the library to see if she could find any records of the old farm or what it looked like. So Sophie, tell us what you've been up to.
I've been looking through the school archives, looking for anything that might be related to Nag's Farm, and I found this in there.
What's that?
This is a photo of the old school field with the swimming pool, and here's a swimming pool which doesn't exist anymore. And then in the background you can see the farm here.
This is the only picture we could find showing the school just after it had been built. Here we see a close-up of the farm. This shows the buildings which are now under Waterloo Road. Unfortunately, the rest of the farm and the air raid shelter are not in this picture. This is the only other picture we could find of the farm showing the entrance on Waterloo Road. Okay, I'm here with some members of the Parkstone History Society who have been doing some research into Nag's Head Farm. I've got Becky Driscoll and Emily Stewart and Laura Bailey. And you've had a bit of success, haven't you, so far, Becky?
Yeah, we've been gathering some information from September. We've looked all over the internet. We've been down to Dorchester Archives, we've raided the school archives, and we've had a little look on Ancestry as well. And we've made a very simple timeline dating back to 1822, and then we've got up to 1907.
So 1822, that's the earliest reference
Yeah.
to Nag's Head Farm that we have.
Yes.
Okay.
We found a reference of Henry Laws on Ancestry.
Okay.
He was a victualler, and his daughter was Susanna Lovelaws, and I think they were tied in with the Lord Nelson pub on the quay.
Right, so
they
they had
went to after the farm.
So they had several pubs, or 2 pubs at least, in the area.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And how was Dorchester? What did you find in the archive down there?
We found reference to a Harry Legg, who was their Nag's Head Farm about 1880.
We also found a bit of background research. He was a yeoman. In 1849 he did jury duty, and in a London newspaper we found reference to him being declared bankrupt as owner of Nag's Head Farm.
Right. So that would mean that farm would have changed hands?
Yes.
Right. And I think from the timeline it looks like the farm changes hands several times, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's quite. Yeah, it seems to be quite quick succession of changes.
So maybe the farm wasn't that profitable, possibly.
Maybe.
Okay. And what else did we discover about the owners?
Well, the next owner after Harry Legg that we found out about is a man called Thomas Fittysole.
Okay.
We found out, it's interesting, he's a councillor, and age 49 there's reference to him on the opening marker of Poole Park.
Right.
So he's written there as a councillor, so he was obviously quite an important man.
Quite distinguished local person, right.
Yeah. And it's a bit difficult sometimes finding out about him because Fittysole is spelled differently.
Okay.
Sometimes with an E, sometimes with an I.
Right.
Which makes it a bit harder.
So it's difficult to look up in the registries we've got. Yeah, different spellings is difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's as far as we've got. So what we need is more information really, and see if we can find out any more about the farm and who lived there and why it was eventually demolished, I suppose.
We would like your help in finding out more about Nag's Head Farm. We would like to appeal to anyone who has any information about the farm and its history to contact us here at Parkstone.
Perhaps you or your relatives remember the farm. Maybe your grandparents stayed there or knew who owned the farm. Perhaps they even spent a night in the air raid shelter.
If you can help us in any way, then please contact us at Parkstone Grammar School.
Please write to us at Parkstone Grammar School, Soapers Lane, Poole, BH177EP, or email parkstonhistorysociety@hotmail.co.uk.
We look forward to hearing from you.